Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to a rather special bonus episode of Four Lads Had a Dream here on the network. I'm delighted to be joined by a very good friend of mine and somebody who will be well known to a lot of you. A massive Rangers fan. He goes everywhere to watch the football club. It is none other than Greg Rudder. Greg, good evening, mate. How are you?
I'm doing good, mate. I'm just sweating my pan in. And this office is like a sauna in here. I'm in the work office.
That's not good. But let's get a look at that attire you've got on there, because that's an old classic. That is a classic, isn't it? Mate, what a pleasure it is to have you on. Before we get started and we go into all the rigmarole, and we're going to do a bit of a summer review and talk about some transfer stuff and talk about Danny Rowe, Derek McInnes, all that kind of stuff. I just want to start by saying thank you to our sponsors, CBD Oil Scotland. You can get a massive 30% off at the moment. If you go onto their website and place an order right now, you will be entered into the draw for West Ham. I believe that's in the CSD Hospitality. It's a £400 prize for next Sunday against West Ham. So if you're buying any stuff for them, you use the code 4lads for 30% off, and you automatically go into the draw as well, which will be drawn next Wednesday. A fair few entries already, so that's great. If you want to enter, now's the time to do it. Also, thanks to our other sponsors, Candid, LBJ Consultants, Elite Scooter Scotland, Metaclad, Four Lads Roofing Partners, I beg your pardon, and Cosmetics by Sharon, where you can also get 10% off by saying 4 lads. What a list of sponsors that is, mate, isn't it?
You're like the Motherwell tap. I know. Sponsors in the Motherwell tap, honestly.
Hey, listen.
That's about 10 minutes I've done there.
I know, mate. That's I always say that. I said we'll be fine because by the time I go through all the sponsors, we'll have done 40 minutes. We're going to be off, ladies and gentlemen, in time for 7:45, so that everybody can go and watch football. Massive's game tonight, Spain versus France. But we'll cover that in a bit. Greg, mate, tell us a bit about what you've been up to. You're now part of the award-winning for 2 Pints in a Shot podcast with Grado, Toll and Stephen Purden. You recently won that award. Tell us about that, because you're behind the camera normally, not in front of it like now.
Well, to be fair, it's normally my brother that's Grant sits in it now. I kind of do all the stuff in the background, all the rubbish that nobody gets to see. But you've got Discords to run, Patreons to run, social media, clips. Trying to get the guys in the studio all at the same time is pretty difficult as well. Grado's he's erratic, to say the least. So you're better at the ad reads in there. We sometimes forget to do them. Got to get them back into there. But I know we're non-stop with that, obviously. And then that's just kind of like one part of what we do here. We've got a few podcasts that come and go. I do a lot of social media stuff. I never seen a single bit of sunshine today. I've been editing all day. I was with Scotty Arfield yesterday, doing some content with him. He was a guest kind of coach. So there was worse things to be doing. I was in at Ibrox yesterday, see at the park just next to Ibrox. I was in there, did a bit of content. So a bit of everything I've been up to, non-stop.
You've been filming as well for the holidays, the training camp stuff. You've been doing that, haven't you?
Yep, the Play It Pro. Guys are brilliant, by the way. Great coaches. Brilliant setup. See the standard of the wee guys that are playing football there. It's frightening. Honestly. It's unbelievable. So hopefully the Scotland team's maybe a bit better, maybe 10, 15 years.
Certainly hope so. Andy knows his stuff, doesn't he? And his brother is he's really good as well, isn't he? So the both of them they're good with the kids and stuff. But we're here to talk about Rangers. What do you make of the summer? We're going to go through it kind of bit by bit. We'll get your kind of overall thoughts on it. People have heard mine aplenty. But what do you make of the whole Danny Rowe situation? Were you surprised by him going just so quickly after the kind of backing by the chairman? Or were you like me? Well, we talked a wee bit. There was always the rumours that he was still going to go and things like that. But were you surprised by it? How did you feel?
I wasn't surprised. I had a feeling that the board were maybe just being clever about it. You don't really want to come out and say, well, we're happy to let a manager go. You want to seem as if he has actually wanted. So I wasn't surprised that he went. Probably how quickly it happened, maybe. But I think majority of fans were happy to see him go, let's be honest. I don't think there was many upset about it. I think it probably would have happened at some point anyway during the season.
I think the worst thing was the split, wasn't it, for him?
Aye, they felt a bit, and it totally killed him. And you know what it's like, Stevie. See, when it goes that way with a manager, how many times did they actually turn it around? It's very, very few and far between, isn't it?
Well, the only time I can ever remember it, mate, is Alex McLeish.
Aye. I remember you actually discussing that, but he's no an Alex McLeish, is he?
No, he certainly wasn't. So that all happened very quickly. Who was your choice to come in?
I was fine with either Gerrard or McInnes, I'll be honest. I think both of them were the smart choice. Obviously, they all have risks, but Gerrard's been here and done it. Although he did have... There was a wee bit of rewriting history with Gerrard, wasn't there? Like, he still had these moments, right, where he had a few nightmares as well, but he's remembered for winning the title. But I think McInnes... I'm delighted with McInnes. I'm really happy about it. I think he'll do well, and I think the business we're doing now is clever. I just hope we now start to see maybe a wee bit of quality being brought in.
Yeah, I think I've talked about this a lot on the podcast as well. I think we're building a squad, a team, which we've maybe not had before, and there's players coming in that we might wonder, and people be saying, oh, well, he's maybe not the quality we need, or he's maybe not the fashionable signing or whatever. But when you look at what they're going to bring to the team, you look at the team going to Tannadice on a Friday night, it's a lot stronger than the team that went there last year. So I think there's going to be two sides to this transfer window, but we'll talk about that in a bit. The signings so far, when you look at it on paper, Lawrence Shankland, that was one that when that first broke, we spoke about it. I don't think there's any need to ask you if you're happy or not about that one.
Nah, it's the cliche of a no-brainer, isn't it? So... And everybody knows it should have been done a long, long time ago. But and the fact that we got him for nothing was pretty incredible, to be honest. I think we were all shocked when we seen that. But that's a smart signing. And I think all the business that we're doing, as you just said there, right, you're seeing them building a sort of spine of the team. So the goalkeeper, right back, centre back, you've got Daniel come in, and Shankland. So you see clearly what they're doing.
Yeah, I think the thing with Lawrence Shankland is, I think with you, it should have happened a couple of years ago. I think genuinely the January that Clermont was close and we were really strongly linked with him, I think if we'd got Shankland then, you could really have genuinely said, we can go on and win this league now. But we didn't have enough firepower. We ended up falling off the rails. I think Shankland coming in now is going to be a great help to Chermiti as well. I expect a lot of use of Chermiti next year, Greg. I think that the way he finished the season, the second half of the season, he got better and better. Some of the qualities of goals. Does he need to improve? Yes, I think he does need to improve his one-on-ones and stuff like that. Scoring an overhead kick, no bother, but a one-on-one's a bit of a trouble for him. Yeah. But I think with Shankland up front with him and using his experience and his know-how, and then you've got Nadiri and Miovski chomping at the bit to get game time as well. I think the four strikers are as strong as we've had since Gerrard's time in charge, when we had Defoe, Morelos, Itten, and Roof. So I'm hoping that they can get the same kind of numbers.
Well, I seen he was asked on his future. He said he's happy. Of course, he's not going to come out and say, I want to go, or whatever. But I'll be honest, I think he's quality. I think he's brilliant. He has got his flaws, like we know, but he is only young. And again, probably an old cliche, but he probably wouldn't be at us, would he, if he didn't have some sort of issues. But I'm looking forward to seeing him. I hope we keep him. Obviously, if a crazy bid comes in, everybody's up for sale, right? But for me, he'd be somebody I'd be keeping.
Yeah, if you look at the big exit this summer, it's most likely going to be Nico. I think we can say that, and they would look to, I think, keep Chermiti and Fernandes. But we'll get to that in a bit. Oh, here he is. The main man. What's happening?
Lawrence Shankland isn't fat. Lawrence Shankland isn't fat.
No.
No, he certainly not.
His team tune there, Stevie.
What's happening with the
You're still on holiday, but it looks like
I've got my Derek McInnes strip on.
What's with the Jack Black look? What's happening there?
Jack Black, is that what you think I look like? Folk have been saying a lot like, would you call the geezer for the Bet365 adverts?
Ray Winston?
I've been getting Ray Winston.
I can see that. I can see that.
I like it.
What he's talking about?
Well, we're just talking about Lawrence Shankland and Chermiti up front.
I can't wait. I know Greg's probably been saying this, right? He's been wanting for years as well. I've been wanting Shankland since he was at Ayr United. See, when Gerrard, I thought Gerrard was sniffing about him when he played at Ayr, and I was like, why not sign him? And even if he doesn't get games, you know, you could loan him out or whatever like that. I can't believe it's took this long for us to sign Shankland, but I'm heavy up for it. I can't wait. I'm so excited. And do you know what? I know something as well, Stevie, right? I've wanted McInnes for years and years and years as well, right? But see, even when he was wanted in 2017, even then I thought it's not the time for him right now. I didn't want him to come then because the club was still in a bit of turmoil, and it was still the folk at the club that, you know, we managed to get rid of, and it wasn't right. But now's the time.
Well, you were happy because I text Grado on the Friday night and all it said was Derek McInnes. And you never text back. I don't know what he's like with you.
I was just about to say to you, Stevie, did you actually get a message back for him?
I did, straight away. And he's like, tell me about this. Tell me about it. And he was like, he's getting it. And that was all it was said. And honestly, you wait weeks and weeks. You tell him, I'm coming to see your show, and that nothing. And about 2 months after the show, he messaged you, said, did you have a good night, pal? But with Derek McInnes, he was there straight away, wasn't he? He's like, I'll tell me more about it. So,
I've got a bad reputation for not getting back to you. I've got honestly, I looked at my WhatsApps. I've got 546 unread WhatsApps. That's just killing me. And by the way, do you know what, Greg? I know you were you're painting and decorator. Do you think you can maybe come down and fix my barbecue? Do you know what? Here, listen to what I've done tonight, right? How much I read next this, right? So I've bought one of the Komodo barbecues, egg. Do you know what I'm talking about? Ceramic ones. Do you get what I'm talking about, Stevie?
It's bound to be posh now that you're star of
No,
Grado.
it's no. I've got the Snyder version. I've got the Snyder. I've got the one. I've got the one that's it's like the one you would get in Aldi and Lidl. That's the one I've got. Hold on.
In the middle.
Does this turn round here? This kind of turn round, or I can do that. Look. It's one of the things, right? Because I want to get into the barbecue. Well, mate, you want to see the Nicky what it can do. It can slow cook. It can barbecue. Anyway, it can do all kinds of stuff, right? But do you know what? See the leg of the barbecue when I was trying to fix it today. The wheel wouldn't thread into one of the legs. Do you get what I mean? When you screw it in, it wouldn't fit. So do you know what I done? I went to the car mechanic garage to try and get it fixed. Come on. Started out with this leg and away when I was like, I know I should a bit of a brass night here, but I goes, any chance you can fix this wee part of my barbecue? Guy was like, try to get it. Right, I know, right? Honestly, it's one of the sockets. He's like, I've not got the equipment for it. You need to go to the guy in Irvine. I was like, when's he open till? He's like, 5 minutes. He phoned him, taking a wait for me to come. Then bombed it down the motorway with this thing from my barbecue, and he managed to fix it. So I've gave him 2 tickets for 2 doors down for helping me out.
This is what he did, Stevie, and then next thing you know, we've been 40 minutes, we've not mentioned a single bit of Fitbin folk after that.
Right, no, I know I can. I need to start talking about Fitbin. Do you know, Stevie, see this year, and do you know what? Sometimes it's maybe like, you know, I don't want to say the hope that kills, right? But every day, man, I'm just getting amazing vibes. I can't wait to see that. What's his name? Ivor Panda. Is it Ivor Panda?
Mm-hmm. Aye.
One of these whole YouTubers said he's the best goal he's ever saw.
Yeah, he's a good
I've heard all this before, but
aye, mate. Oh, come on, we're all fickle as hell. Come on, let's be honest, right? He's going to get Player of the Year next year.
Well, I've seen Grant's maybe done you a wee bit because he put out a clip saying that you were excited for the season and all that, and obviously you can imagine the comments on it now.
What? How would it say?
Same every season. It's the hope he kills and all that.
No, but this man's different, man. It does. I just feel as if McInnes has went in there and he's sat with, in fair play to Jim Gillespie. I know I was talking to you and Cameron, right? You see that day when Ewan was at the press conference, he came out, well, mate, see all this, right? He's loving it. Don't be put off. He loves it. He's Piers Morgan. He loves all this banter. He keeps his name in the spotlight. Come on.
He knows what he's doing.
But you know what he said to me? He says, Grado, he says, Jim Gillespie, I'm telling you, I've been in football since 2002. He's the best CEO you'll have. I'm telling you right now, he's the best CEO. I'm getting good vibes for him as well. I feel as if Gillespie's maybe sat down with McInnes and Kavanagh. What do we need to do here? I might be wrong, Stevie, but what do we need to do here? The likes of getting McAllister back, the backroom staff as well. Just wee things to make it feel Rangers. And there's a lot. I go and follow sometimes and all the other kind of places, and a lot of people, it's kind of, there's no winding me up, but a lot of people have got opinions as well about McGregor being the goalie coach. He's no get the badges. He wasn't interested. What would you rather have? A guy that's went through all his badges and never pinned MD, or you get one of the best goalies
No,
in Europe?
100%.
Do
There's
you know
no,
what I mean?
there's no downside to McGregor being
A
back at
guy,
the football club.
a guy that's been there and done it, a guy who knows how to deal with the mentality, first of all, which is one of the biggest things, let's be honest. Mentality is the biggest thing. What did McGregor have? Mega mentality. So if you get him breathing down your neck, and he's somebody as well, because a big miss for your club for years and years and years, and it doesn't get said often enough, a big miss for us was Jimmy Bell. And I think a lot of players come to Ibrox, even like last year, Danny Rowe was signing these players, and I'm like, but who's taking them aside? Who's giving them the Jimmy Bell treatment? You know what it's like. This is what it's like to play for Rangers. I feel that's been. I mean, I'm looking for the outside. That's what it feels like. But I feel as if now we're hiring guys that know the drill, that will be confident enough to take players aside and go, "Hey, if you got what it takes," because by the way, this is like what McGuinness has been saying. It's a great club to be when you're winning.
Aye.
It's a great club to be when you're winning, but we know what it's like when we're not winning.
Nah, I don't disagree with anything you've just said there, but I mean, I've seen a few comments when Devlin signed, right? And it seemed like people were like, oh, a squad player, is he even good enough? Limited player and all that. We're now doing exactly what we've been wanting to do for years. And Devlin is the exact signing that you make and we used to make years ago. And now folk are moaning about it as well.
Mate, for years, I've been crying out for years that we need to sign more SPL players. And you can't get Andy Mayer, somebody that knows the league. He's a wee bulldog. Somebody we need a wee bit of fucking corn, a wee bit of dig. You know what I mean? A wee bastard in him. And
He's
people are
the player
saying,
you hate, but you want to have him.
Correct. For years, how many times we eat, like even see back in the day, I would always see the likes of guys like Porteous who would wind up poor players, and I would go, man, he's dead, man. He's, you know, I don't want to say I hate the guy, but you're sitting there going like that. I would love for somebody to have the bottle and the charisma and the dig and the kind of that kind of arsehole cockiness in our team. We've not had that. Who's the last player we've had that's done that? Stevie, tell me.
Well,
I can't even think, to be honest, after that period.
I can't remember. I can't honestly.
Probably, obviously, Morelos probably was the last one that.
You might be right with that. Mm-hmm. Reason why I'm asking you, Stevie, I was laughing yesterday when you were on with Derek, and you're talking about saves that Alan McGregor made. You started fucking rhyming off about 3 or 4, and I'm going, how does he remember this? The save against fucking such and such on the 17th of November, fucking against this striker, he saved it. His fucking blood type was this. I'm going, how do you retain all this?
I don't retain anything useful in life, but I do remember some of the saves that Greedsy's made. Aye.
I liked his interview. Have you listened to it?
Aye. Yes.
I'm delighted he's back, by the way. I'm delighted he's back. I'm delighted Jim's back. I'm delighted they're getting that feeling towards the club, because you're right, it is missing. And by the way, we've tried a lot of things for a lot of summers, throwing money at it, getting players in. How about we bring in people that understand it and add a wee bit of the flair that's still going to come? Let's be honest, we're going to spend money. There's business to be done there. But now that they're getting these people back in place, I feel a lot better about it. I think McInnes will be good. So
Stevie,
I'm quietly looking forward to it.
Do you know the only thing, right? So we've brought back McAllister, McGregor. What we need now is somebody that's on the telly to be on the park before the games. I am a Blue News, loyal and true. I'm proud. And goes Alan McGregor.
I just get PTSD about being on hold to the ticket officer.
I know
That's the fucking hold music.
That's all we need now, Steve. What do you think?
I'm willing to put you forward for it, Grado. No bother.
Number 1, Ivar Banner. I swear you got to go that right. The Brimley. It's Sunday, gentlemen. It's Scotland. Are we ready? Every Saturday we follow. Right? And then you go as well. That's right. 10. They're coming out. They're back. The Rangers are back. Season 2026-27. McInnes is back. We've got our club back. Sandy Johnson, 10, 9, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Dun, 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 dun. Fireworks. In fact, before that, Enter Sandman.
You've went full WrestleMania there. Too many wrestling shows. You need to be. They get the UB walkie-talkie
Would that? Do you think that would be welcome, Stevie? What do you think? Just to cheer everybody up.
I reckon it'd be good, mate. I'm going to put you forward for it.
Yeah, put me forward for it. Try and get me for the West Ham game.
I've got Jim's number. I'll give him a text.
Mm.
I'll send him that clip and see if that can be your audition.
Aye, clip this and send that.
I will, mate. I will.
What else she's been up to? What else she's been doing? How's your new job, Stevie?
It's good, mate. It's good. It's interesting. HR's good.
I crack up here.
Yeah, no, aye.
How's that? Stevie, have you not got a Patreon and all that? And can you not make dough for this? Look at David Edgar, man.
Grado, you're away, mate. You're away.
Yeah, hold on.
Does he know that this is actually live, or does he think we're
I've got no idea. He doesn't really know what he's doing. Anytime.
That is so funny.
He's half his head. Made some good points, though.
Hold on.
You no get Wi-Fi near here, mate?
How's that?
Saltcoat's Wi-Fi is brutal. Right, brilliant. Right, Stevie, what about the American guy we've just been linked with? Did you have a quick look before we... Or the American... the guy who plays in America, sorry, I don't know if he is American.
I cannot wait until Tom Miller tries to announce this guy if we do end up getting him.
What do we know about him? But the MLS kind of gives me a wee bit of PTSD, same as signing English Championship players. We've not got a... I'm going to steal what my brother actually just said in the chat there, but we've not got a good hit record with Americans coming for the MLS, to be honest.
Nope.
So, I don't know, very rarely works.
Well, the only one that we've really had, American-wise, that has worked has been...
You got Reyna.
Claudio Reyna, isn't it? So I'm not sure.
Bockenegger done all right.
He done okay, but I'm not sure that he was... I'm not sure that he was there.
Recent ones, I wouldn't say have been very good.
Yeah, I don't know a lot about Oluwaseun Makanya. Is that what we're going to go with? Don't know enough about him. 22, South African, plays for Philadelphia Union, and played 53 times for them.
Is he left-sided?
I don't know. I don't know. That's what I was looking for as well. I don't think you could say that Beasley was. I think he had a run under Walter Smith for about 6 weeks at January time that he was quite decent, wasn't he? Edu was okay. I'm not sure that they were. I'm not sure that I would consider them to be great. Maybe that's just me being harsh. But Edu would be brilliant for us in other teams. The team he was in at the time, trying to get in under Walter, I don't think he could manage it. But he's a big guy, this boy. Like he's got the stature and everything else.
I think you tend to find that they're all at that in MLS, aren't they?
Do you think here's an interesting one? Do you think we need one or two centre backs now if John Souttar's going to go, and it looks like Russell Martin's sniffing about him for $1.5 million? Are you happy about that?
I'm actually quite surprised with it though. I don't think again there'll be many Rangers fans that are disappointed to see John Souttar go, but I thought McInnes might have kept him a day, but I would say we need two.
Mm-hmm.
There is obviously talk that you probably know better than me, but they're looking at a left-sided centre-back, which are quite hard to come by for a bit of balance. But they definitely need to go and sign a couple of centre-backs. And that is also depending on if we manage to keep a hold of big money. He might move on as well if the bid comes in. So, but I don't think Souttar will be a massive loss. I think it's such a poor end to the season. There's always just that really, really big mistakes in him, isn't there?
Yeah, I think the problem with John Souttar is that he came back and he looked the part. He had lost the weight and he looked really good, but his confidence-wise, I think he was just shot a bit. And we go on about it a lot and we mention it. I don't mean to mention it, but that Celtic Cup game when it was 0-0 and he came on at the end, he was all over the place. And I think you could see from the whole team were struggling with him being there, and he hardly played again. I thought Giga was decent. I thought he'd come on to a game. He was pacey, but would you pay that £8 million? Obviously not. But, we're linked with Sanquon Diawara, who's a left-sided boy for £2 million. I can see there being some truth to that. And I do think we need a left-sidey. And I wouldn't be surprised to see McInnes on the right-hand side. If Souttar's going, and you have Fernandez, Godfrey, and you maybe have a youngster like a Diawara or like the boy that they've been linked with there, I wouldn't be surprised to see him go and get somebody experienced, Greg, because let's be honest, Ben Godfrey is a bit of a question mark over his fitness and that. So I think you need somebody that's experienced and might know the league.
Yep.
So I wouldn't be surprised to see McInnes dip into the transfer market to get somebody about that.
Yep. No, I agree with that as well. And just on another transfer, I did hear that Cardiff have made an offer for Dal, the Norwegian. He's been knocked back. Do you see us up in the offer? It seems like they want like 7 million. I don't see why. If you really want this guy, just go pay it. It's not a massive jump.
I think we will. I think we'll get Jens Hertogdal if we want Jens Hertogdal. And likewise, I think with Vanja Dragicevic, the boy from Partizan Belgrade, I think genuinely, if we want these boys, we'll go and get them. I don't think 7 million's out of our price range. I think they might be sitting there going, Connor Barron, Mohamed Diamandi, Nico Raskin. We need to know that they're definitely moving before we move. Yep. So, and with Dal saying it might take a while, that was kind of key to me, kind of sitting thinking, Greg, that he's been told that he's coming, but he needs to wait until we move a couple out. I think Neil and Devlin could do the partnership for the first few weeks, do the dirty side of it, do the dirty games. And by the way, we've still got the likes of Asgard and that can come in, add the wee bit of flair and bits and pieces if he's going to stay at the club. But I genuinely think when you look at it on paper, I don't even think that our business has really started. I think that's a God's honest truth. I think that when you look at it, the ones that were brought in are the unfashionable squad-like boys that we've all been asking for. And I think the sparkle is still to come. And I think that, right side, a right winger, a left-sided centre-back, and a midfield will be where they strengthen. And you might see them pick up a loan for a left-back. You might see them pick up another loan centre-back. It'll be in that kind of area. But I think McInnes knows that you definitely need a strong centre-back. But the right wing, Greg, we've been crying out for a right winger.
Mate, probably since, this has got to sound mental, but probably since Candias, we've never really had somebody like a proper...
Czerny for a bit, obviously that season. But we do need somebody. I don't think we can get Czerny. I think the money he's on at Besiktas, he's got a 3-year deal there. I think we could afford him to pay for it, but I think wages-wise, he would be, I think, out of our reach. I would love to see it happen. He's a definite yes for me if we can manage it, but we do need a bit of sparkle on that right-hand side. And I think if you get that on the right-hand side, it frees up the left as well, because they will focus on both sides of the pitch. And I can't remember the last time Rangers had 2 good wingers and 2 threats from both sides. When you get that, it'll free up the one on the left, so that could be Gassama or Curtis. It might even help Ant-Man when he's coming into a game, because he played left-hand side the other night against Kaiser, which I thought was interesting. So we do need somebody quality, I think, on the right-hand side. A couple of centre-backs.
There's not been many links in the media with wingers.
The thing is,
though, that doesn't mean we're not working on them, but I'd like to see a few names, you know what I mean?
You're right. I mean, let's go back to talking about the players that have come in. Ross McCrory coming in for the best part of 900,000. At first, when it was a couple of million, I was like, but when I heard it was 900 grand, I'm quite happy with Ross McCrory coming in. I think he's somebody that might surprise us again of what he's like. He knows what it's like. He's a leader. He's a fighter. Do you have any issues with him coming in? Would you start him ahead of Sterling? Where are you on that right back position?
He's definitely my starter at the moment, aye. Purely just, I like Sterling, good player, but we all know his injury issues. He's not reliable. So I would even probably still be looking if there is still money there to be spent and business has been done, then another right back I wouldn't be against that. But McCrory for me is another smart move. He's went away. He's got plenty of experience. Played loads and loads of games. He's robust. He plays lots of games. He doesn't seem to get injured. I've got to touch wood there because you've got a good record for injuring players. But nah, he's a good signing for me. And as you said, he gets it. That's the old saying, innit? The old Rangers da saying he gets it, but he does. You've seen his interviews, even just like his mum and dad crying and all that. Like proper fans at the club's exactly what we want and what we need.
Yeah, I would agree with that. This is what I talk about when we talk about going to Tannadice on a Friday night and having boys that will Rangers had a real habit last season of going 1-0 up and not being able to get a second goal and not being able to hold the lead. When you're 1-0 up with these guys in your team, they're the ones that you could try and get. Just seeing a couple of boys are saying that Mark Henry in the Herald saying that we're trying to do a deal for Steffi Mavadidi from Leicester. Interesting, because he plays in the wing, doesn't he? So, and with them interested in Suter, that might be something. We're going to be linked with. We're going to be linked with a lot of players. What do you think about Nico Raskin? I'm really inquisitive to know where you are on Nico and his.
Nico's a weird one, in terms of he's clearly quality, right? But he's one that if he goes, I feel as if he's easily replaceable. I don't know if that sounds mental or not, but because after the World Cup he's just had, but the Nico that we see for Belgium isn't the Nico that you see consistently for us. Now that could be a mixture of things. I don't know if it's possibly who's run about, the players run about him as well, but good players for me stand out no matter what teams are playing, and I don't think Nico Raskin does it often enough for us. So for me, moving him on for the highest transfer fee we can get, it's the right time to move him on, and I'm not concerned about it. I think he's somebody that can easily be replaced.
I'm not going to say that's controversial because a lot of people kind of agree with you. I think the thing with Nico is, we spoke about it a lot, I think he's got the quality, but there is a staleness, and it's probably the same as Mohamed Diamande. I really wanted Mohamed Diamande to kick on, and he's not done it.
Yep.
He's never, for me, he's been able to play 1 or 2 games where you look and you think, right, great, and then it goes 2 or 3 games and he's anonymous. So he could have a brilliant game against Celtic, Diamande, and he's capable of it, and he's done it before, but then next week against St Mirren, he looks like he could not be interested. I consider Mohamed Diamande's time to be as up as anybody else in that midfield.
I totally agree. I would move Diamande on as well. I basically just agree with exactly what you said there. He showed up against Celtic a few times, really, really good performances, but you need, when you're at Rangers, you need at least a solid 7 out of 10 every single week, or just not good enough.
I think the biggest thing for our midfield is it lacks a consistency. If you're not great in a game, you need to be a 7 out of 10. And the problem is, for our midfielders, likes of Diamande, likes of Raskin, the likes of Barron, even Chukwani. I think I'm still looking at Chukwani saying, I can understand it, but you've got a lot more to do. I think when these guys are good, they're good, but the drop-off between them being good and just being average is far too big. And when they are just kind of having an average, quiet game, it's a midfield that gets turned over too easily. And I think the midfield is where our biggest problems are. And understand Dan, Neil, and, Cammy Devlin coming in. I understand all that, Greg, but I've said for a long time, and I don't understand it. I'm not a tactician. I don't understand that kind of side of it. But I genuinely think that the balance in that midfield's all wrong, and that affects the wings and it affects the other parts of the team as well.
Aye, no, I totally agree. And it was listening to Joshua Barry done a bit on Dan Neil. I don't know if you're still there, by the way, because I can't see you, Stevie. I don't know if you've just moved off the stage. Are you still there, man?
Mate, I'm sorry, I just swiped myself.
No, it's fine. I wasn't sure if you'd been disconnected or not.
I'm having a nightmare there. I apologize.
What, you were about to Grado's bit, yeah? On Dan Neil, as I said, Joshua Barry done like a week and a bit on him, but I'll be honest, I don't know much about the boy. The old PTSD from signing Championship players, albeit everything I've read and listened to, this guy's profile does seem different for the other English players or players we've signed from England. He's obviously been a captain at a young age. Now, Sunderland are a massive club. They've got a massive fan base, whether people agree with that or no, but they have obviously got expectations in that. He captained them, obviously, when they get promoted as well. I think he, and to actually echo what Josh said, it's probably the closest to Stephen Davis we've had since he moved on. I'm not saying he's as good as Stephen Davis, by the way, and there was Joshua, but in terms of how he actually plays, apparently that's the type of player he is. And we've seen the other night, he was obviously captain. He's a leader. So I think he'll do well. I do. I don't think it's the usual, like Rothwell's obviously gave people a bit of bad vibes into for the Championship, but I think he has a different profile and he's cut for a different cloth, Daniel.
I think the thing with Joe Rothwell is we were told, probably wrongly, but we were told that Joe Rothwell would come up here and boss the games. Nobody's been saying that about Dan Neil. All the Sunderland fans have been saying is that Dan Neil's going to be a really good player for you. And these are the kind of things. He's a box to box, which I didn't expect. So I think he might have a different profile. We know what we're getting with Cammy Devlin. That's an easy one. He's going to scrap. Yeah. He's going to be your scrapper in midfield. He's going to win the ball. He's going to wind people up. He's probably perfect in terms of what we've not had. I'm a bit worried about his distribution, but if he can knock that just sideways to somebody else and they start that and he plays that role, then I think he'll do fine. Because as I said, there is games where at Rangers, and we didn't do it enough. How many draws do we have last season? 12 or something?
It's ridiculous.
We need to go to St Mirren. We need to go to Motherwell and, battle and be able to get the ball, and we haven't done it enough. So I think there's definitely room there.
Well, if you look at the Celtic game where when we lose the 2 goals, they bring on Hatate, who we're all watching. You can clearly see what's happening. He completely changes the game. You're needing somebody like a Daniel, or again, to go back to Davis, just to come on and just slow things down, calm down, stay on the ball, and completely take his thing out of the game. Rule just didn't really seem to grasp that at all. And we've massively missed that. Just a bit of a calm head in the middle of the park just to control games and the tempo of the game.
I'm going to shout a few names at you from the squad currently and just a keep or sell.
Right.
I don't think there's anybody in defence. You talk about John Suter. I think, that one's been made. But are you keeping John or are you selling John?
I would move John Suter on.
Dujon Sterling?
I would keep Dujon. I also don't think anybody will take him. It's going to be you need somebody to buy the guy as well. So I think you're probably still to get 2 years left.
Mm-hmm.
I think Duj is staying. But again, it's the whole if he can stay fit. If he can stay fit, he's a brilliant player to have about. We've seen how many times he's never let us down. Like,
how many games do you think he was available for last season?
I checked this recently. I think he only played something like was it 22 he played all in?
Aye,
starting about that, wasn't it?
17 league games, I think.
But then, when I checked, transfer market obviously has got the injury history. It wasn't actually as bad as I thought it would be. And was quite unlucky? It was like a freak sort of trip to a sprinkler or something like that. Is that the story? We're just getting fed? I don't know.
Something happened. No idea, but,
so he might have been unlucky. I don't know. But hopefully his injury worries are past him. But I mean, if you can get 20, 25 games out of him and McCrory's picking up the rest, then I think we're fine at right back if we don't go and sign somebody else.
We're not selling Fernandes or two Romans. I'm sure you agree with that.
No chance, no.
Midfielders, 4 midfielders. Connor Barron.
If the fees that are getting spoke about, then for me, you've got Devlin that comes in and does the same job as Barron. Then you're taking the fee for Barron.
No, if you can get 6 to 8.
I like Connor Barron, by the way. I wouldn't be again if he was staying. Then I think he would do a job. But if you're talking some of the fees at 7 to 10 million and stuff like that, they're talking, then you're taking that.
Yeah. Mohamed Diamande.
Time to go. Aye, he needs to
Raskin.
Go. Raskin, I think, is at the right time as well. We'll make a good bit of money on him. Aye, thanks and all the best.
Tochi Chukwani.
I wouldn't be surprised to see him go. I'll be honest. I wouldn't be surprised if a bid came in and he maybe says, like, listen, I want to move on. I think he showed initially, maybe first couple of games, he looked really, really good. But again, just never didn't kick on and didn't show it consistently.
Ollie Antman.
I think he is a player that McInnes would like and could get the best out of. He likes his wingers just whipping balls in. That's how Hearts kind of played when it's similar to that. So again, everybody's got a price, but wouldn't it be against Antman staying and McInnes try to get a tune at him?
The thing is, he got played as an inside forward. I think the way Derek plays is he likes the guys on the touchline, doesn't he, as actual wingers. Jeddy Gassama.
I wouldn't be against him going again if it's some of the
for
fees.
10 million to Monaco, yeah.
Aye, again, if it's some of the fees that are being quoted, then you're going to sell him. You're going to move him on.
Finlay Curtis, no brainer. You're keeping him, aren't you?
Keep him, and I think he'll have a good impact in the season. So there, I really like. I like him. I think he's very direct. I don't think there's ever been a game where he's not at least getting a couple of shots at goal, which is why he scores goals, obviously, which is a very simple way to play football. You hit shots, you've got to score goals, but he always gets shots away. He's in great positions. He plays with a wee, like, no fear, really. And I think Rule made a mistake putting him out on loan. It was great for him, right enough, personally, because he managed to get to World Cup. Probably wouldn't have happened if he stayed at us, but selfishly, he would have been better at us.
Miovski?
Again, I don't think we'll change the force. I think they're probably set on their strikers unless something happens. If a bid comes in, then again, Miovski will go if a bid comes in. But in terms of keeping him, I would like to see him with Shankland and against with Chermiti as well, with the two.
So Shankland, Chermiti, Nadiri, Miovski, you the same as me, all of them stay.
Totally fine with the four of them. I think Nadiri's kind of getting under the radar a wee bit as well. Like, he's kind of not been spoke about. He showed that he's more than capable, and he offers something different to what Shankland and Chermiti does, and Miovski, to be fair. So I like Nadiri. I would like to see another season at him at least, to see what he can do and see what McInnes can do with all four of them. Especially
with a good pre-season. I think with two up front, 4 isn't a lot, and he will play 4-4-2 or 4-4-1-1, whatever way. Tell Asgard?
Again, I'd be all right with him moving on. I think he's a good player, but maybe just one of the ones he's just no suited to our league or playing for Rangers. Kind of similar to Scott Wilson, to be honest. Like, he's not a bad player, clearly, or he wouldn't be where he is. But just for whatever reasons, it sometimes just does not work with certain players. And I think, where was he getting linked to again? Was it Italy?
Atalanta, wasn't it, for 16 million euros?
So probably, again, if you're getting fees like that, then you're taking him at the airport, aren't you? But he probably would suit him over there. Don't know. It's just he's clearly got ability, but you need more than that, don't you, to play for Rangers? So we've seen players with much less technical ability do better at Rangers, just because they've maybe got a different mentality. So I would move him on if a bid come in. 2
left that I can think of. Nadeem Bayrami.
No manager's ever seemed to fancy him, have they? Every single manager that's come in, he's never cemented a place. Paid a lot of money for him as well. Albanian international, come in with quite a good reputation. Showed in flashes, kind of maybe what he could do, but he's one that he basically needs to go.
I think so. Last one, Lyle Cameron.
I feel sorry for Lyle Cameron. I feel as if he's just kind of come in and no really had a proper go at it. Will he get a chance? I don't know. He just seems like a good, honest pro. But to be honest, we've not really seen enough of him to even kind of make judgment on him, really. But again, he is definitely one that would probably go if an offer comes in. But he's probably not going to feature, is he?
Last one I'm seeing mentioned as well, Clinton Ciala.
He needs to move on, doesn't he? He's not going to play. I don't see. He had like one wee sort of spell. It was under Ferguson. He'd done no bad for a few games, but he's had some horror shows and all. And I don't think he had like the best loan ever, because they didn't choose to keep him either. So I can't imagine he'd done too well. Was it Westerlo? Was it?
Yeah,
over in Belgium. Yeah. So another one you would move on. And listen, if we're going to be bringing in another 2 centre backs, he's going to be nowhere near it, is he? So for his own sake, he'd be better going and playing football. He's still young enough to go and try and find a team that's got to play every week.
Yeah, I think that was that game at Kilmarnock kind of killed them, didn't it? They were 2-0 down under Ferguson. First game, actually, I think it was, and they whipped them off. So, yeah, I'm interested now, just before we finish up, to find out, where do you see the real quality coming in? If you were to look at the team now, where would you say it's vital that where are you really looking forward to? And is there any names that we've been linked with that you really want us to get?
I think it's probably the Norwegian guy, Dal. And I'm probably just basing that purely on all your stats and radars and bits of footage and people telling you what he can do. But you obviously seen his goal the other day. Apart from maybe Asgard, I don't even think we've got anybody in that squad now that's capable of that sort of strike for midfield. Because even Raskin pops up with the odd goal, right? But he's no somebody that's going to be scoring for long range or testing the goalkeeper for there. So I would probably say him. The other linked, obviously Lewis Ferguson would be unbelievable. I don't think there's much chance as getting Ferguson. I never have thought that we'd even be able to get him. I think probably the fees it's got to be above us. And I mean, how many times do you actually see like swap deals and stuff happening? Very, very rarely. So people saying like, oh, Raskin going the other way and him coming in. The deals are very, very, they don't happen often. So I still think he's probably got I'm not saying for us, Rangers is the biggest move you can get in your life, but he's probably thinking I could probably still go to Premier League in England or another top 5 league or whatever. So probably don't see him happening. The Serbian, again, don't know much about him. I'd be lying if I said I even knew his name before he got linked to us. But the one thing I would say about that is he's a captain, again, so you can maybe see the profile that the club are going for. So effectively, if you went and signed him, McCrory's been a captain, I'm sure, at under-21s of Scotland. I don't know if he's been a captain at Bristol or wherever else he was, but he's clearly sort of got leadership skills as well. You then bring in Daniel, who's a captain. Shanklin's been a captain. There's 3 leaders that we've not really had in previous seasons, players like that at all. So I can see why they're probably the Serbian would be a good move as well, purely based on that. I don't know if he's actually a good player or not, but Serbians are usually quite mental, so I'd be up for a mad Serb in the middle of the park there.
Yeah, he's a...
And right wing, I would say there needs to be quality. It needs to be somebody it's proper quality.
I think that the right wing position, if you can get a right winger that's going to be your sparkle, and then you've got Curtis and that on the left, and you've got a good front line, I still think you need somebody in midfield. If you can get the midfield in the right-hand side right, I'm pretty confident Romans, Fernandez, Godfrey and McCrory and Pandur behind them is okay. If you can get the midfield balance right, get a right winger. I'm quite keen on Dal, I must admit. Lewis Ferguson's the obvious no-brainer for me. If you can get him, might be out of our reach, that's fine, understand completely. I think if you can get a right winger that's capable of hitting Czerny numbers, that's the difference, I think, between our team being a team that's still capable of drawing too many than a team that has got plenty of goals and threats in it. You add Dal and a right winger to that forward line with Curtis, who's going to get you goals, and a pretty solid kind of back 5 where your 4 defenders and goalie, obviously, then I think we're set. But at the moment, we lack that something, and that's my only concern. You get them, and I think we'll be looking all right.
Could you see Nadiri maybe playing off the left or like slightly different position for him?
I've seen Big Strider talk about this, I think, on Twitter. I think he's been mentioning that. I don't know. I mean, I know he could play as a 10. Mm-hmm. Could he play out wide? I really don't know. And I'm not a favour of... I used to hate it when Aribo was out on the right and Hadji was stuck out on the right, and that. And they were good, by the way. But I just didn't like it. I would like an out-and-out righty who's just capable of doing what Czerny can
winger
do.
Things. Just do winger things. Just go out and
having that threat. See, all of a sudden, by the way, if you add that threat in the right, they've got the threat in the left, get somebody in the middle, that striking, I think we'll be in pretty good shape, because all of a sudden you've got different goal threats everywhere. Shanklin will get 20 goals, Chermiti will get 20 goals. Can we add it elsewhere? If you
I also don't think it should be overlooked. Shanklin's very, very good in that 10 role as well.
We've seen you seen him come from deep to score against us, didn't you?
Aye, he's very, very good at that. And I don't think he actually gets a lot of credit for how good a footballer he actually is. He's not just a goal scorer. So I think he'll bring so much more than just a threat.
Yeah, I think so. Right, before you go, France and Spain, how do you see that one going?
France. I think France will just win the full thing. I'll be honest though, I've not been paying too much attention to the World Cup, but they're front 4, aren't they? They're just scary. But if England can get to the final, if they can get past Argentina, anything can happen in a final. But I don't see France getting beat.
Thing is, with all 4 of them, they've all got world class players. Messi,
yep.
Then you've got Bellingham. France are full of players. Mbappe, obviously. Spain are just incredible. And the thing with Spain and France is none of them got out of second gear yet. So it's going to be interesting when they play each other tonight to see who can up their game to that level. I'm like you, I can't see past France now. I thought for a long time that Germany might do it, but they very quickly got put out. So it's going to be interesting. Mate, what a pleasure it's been to have you on.
Thanks for having us, Stevie. Anytime, mate.
We didn't really talk for a whole 15 minutes while Grado joined us.
That's to be expected.
That was interesting to say the least. But a pleasure having you on, mate. We'll get you on during the season. Tell us about 2 pints and a shot and where we can find you these days.
Well, you can get the actual studio. You'll get G4 Podcast Studio. We are based in Wishaw. We offer podcast services and social media content services. 2 podcasts that we look after is the Leather Podcast. So if any of your listeners right now are fans of MMA, UFC, any sort of fighting, PFL, Cage Warriors, then the guys, Paul Craig and Ross Cooper, they discuss all that stuff with a lot of madness involved in all. And A Pint and Two Shots is just, you just seen what Grado's hits wee cars just bashing into each other. But what I will say is he is a genius, right? He comes up with some amazing stories and amazing ideas and stuff like that. And sometimes when he comes in, I see like that, even just like that barbecue thing. That's just stuff that he does every day, every single day, every week. He comes into the studio, he'll have some sort of mad story. I mean, he brought a Brazilian guy with him one day, like that was in at Go Radio, some Brazilian pop star. He just phoned us in the way in saying, I've got a Brazilian pop star coming in. They set up an hour mic. Some Brazilian guy just sat in the podcast. He just does erratic things. But we wouldn't change him. But if you want to check out A Pint and Two Shots as well, it's about 80% nonsense, 20% football.
Aye, well, that's what this show was tonight, I think. But it was great to have you both on. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us. Kenny and I will be back tomorrow night to discuss more Rangers news. We'll get the latest transfer links and we'll see what else has happened. Rangers play on Thursday night. They play that Malaysian side, JTD, I think they're called. I'll get that sorted for tomorrow anyway. Huge thanks to our sponsors, CBD Oil Scotland. Get on their website and order now, 30% off by quoting 4 lads, and you will be entered in to win hospitality against West Ham. Thanks to our other sponsors, Candid, LBJ Consultants, Elite Scooter Scotland, Metaclad, our roofing partners, and Cosmetics by Sharon, when you can get 10% off by just mentioning 4 lads as well. Thank you so much to Greg, to Grado, and to everybody in the comments. And we'll see you again tomorrow. Thanks very much.
Cheers.
Good night, folks. The 4 Lads Rangers podcast is sponsored by Candid, LBJ Consultants, CBD Oil Scotland, Elite Scooter Scotland, and Metaclad, 4 Lads exclusive roofing partner, the Aesthetics Lounge by Sharon, in partnership with Black Rooster, Art of Gold, and Rangers Youth Development Company. Thank you for listening to or watching the podcast. We hope you enjoyed the show. 4 Lads podcast is delighted to be sponsored by CBD Oil Scotland. Get a massive 30% off now for all their gummies and their oils. Go and check them out. These help with things like stress, anxiety, sleep patterns, mood, depression, even stuff like fibromyalgia. Go and check them out, cbdoilscotland.com. Use the code 4lads to get a massive 30% off. You enter right now and you'll be in the hospitality draw for tickets for Rangers versus West Ham. Derek McInnes' first game in charge, and you will get that opportunity not only to get 30% off, but you'll also be in the draw for hospitality tickets for West Ham. If you don't want to use the website, you can come into either shop here in Thornley Bank or in Kinnan Park. It's called Bits and Bongs. You go in there, you use the code 4lads, and you'll get a massive 30% off. We're delighted CBD Oil Scotland are sponsoring 4 Lads. Check it out and go and help yourself to some oils, some gummies with a fantastic 30% off.